Hey Sid, I'm just kind of going to jump all over the place because these directions are a little bit harder to follow. So, my background is just electrical engineering. I'm working more on the software side of things. So, in regards to your presentation, I don't have too much of a background. Um, so here we'll jump over to your slides. Here we go. To your slides here now. So, I really just have a couple key points. I mean, I talked about a lot of the stuff um, in the table. Really, it's pretty straightforward to follow, but I'll just kind of go over um, kind of the couple main points that I took away from your presentation. And I think the main one here for me, and this was kind of right off the bat, so this kind of just stuck out to me right away. When you were first explaining this figure here, the advantages of the three types of automotive joints, excuse me, I was really kind of confused. Like I said, I don't have too much of a background in this, so I guess I'm your perfect non-specialist listener at this point. But what I think something that would really benefit you is to not necessarily give a ton of background info on all of these different types of joints, but just on the whole automotive joints in general. I think because of that, if you do that, I think it's going to help just make this graphic a little bit more powerful and stand out a little more. And again, it might be necessary for you to give a little bit of background on each specific type, but I think that's something that you should play around with. A thing that I said, I think it was actually in the last line of the table, was go back and listen to your presentation here. I think you'll be able to learn a lot. Um, if you put yourself in a non-specialist listener's shoes, at least, I think you'll be able to see where you can make your presentation stronger, what you can practice on. I think it's really good if you actually go back and watch yourself. I'm sure many people would agree with that, so I would recommend doing that, and then you'll kind of see, I think, what I mean when I say that. Another key thing that I put down was just be confident, and I think confidence is going to come from just practicing a lot. I wrote down in my notes here, be confident on this slide. I guess I'm not exactly sure what that was referring to. Again, if you go back and listen to this exact slide, you might be able to see, you might have just stuttered a little bit. Again, this is all just going to get better with practice. You said a lot. I know a lot of people do that. Totally fine. Again, practice, practice, practice. That's going to help you so much in the end when you're giving your actual final presentation to a bunch of different people. Um, that practice is going to help you not only with your and everything, it's going to give you more confidence and really just benefit you in the end, not only in your presentation, but it will show in your grade as well. Um, the last thing that I have written down here was I think it's going to be really important for you to cut down on some of your background information here. So I know it's important to talk about all of these, the different types of automotive joints, but that took away from this part, your analysis and your recommendations, which I thought were pretty much non-existent. If you go read the table, you'll see that as well. Really, another thing that I think is going to make your presentation a lot stronger is talking a lot more about your conclusion analysis and recommendations. Like I said, it was pretty much non-existent. It was mostly just background information. I wasn't really sure in the introduction what the status quo was, what the problem with it was, and what your research question was. So go back, revise that. From there, you'll be able to figure out how much background information is necessary for you, and then you'll be able to talk about your analysis, talk about some of your sources that you use that really helped you reach your recommendations and conclusions, and then that's going to tie it all together and make your presentation that much stronger.